Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and you already know today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. So let's go ahead and get on into it. If you are new here, make sure that you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let me know that you made it. Join our beauty community. So let's go ahead and get into last night's episode. I did not write notes, you guys, so I'm gonna give it to you as best as I can remember. There wasn't a whole lot that I wanted to talk about. We're gonna hit these high notes. Let's talk about Ashley and Michael. So Ashley and Michael go to dinner, and basically at the dinner they are discussing the rumors. Now Ashley has been getting the article sent to her from everyone, the article from Gossip in the City. Now I remember when it first dropped at Gossip in the City, like on Instagram, because I follow her, and Ashley basically says she recognized the underwear. She knew it was her husband. So then he goes on and he explains his side of the story, saying that he was drunk and they went to the hotel room and they did kiss in the car, but he was too drunk to do anything when they got to the hotel room. And you know, when he woke up to check the phone, she snapped a picture. And you know, I know that we've done our things in the past, but I've never done anything without you. And and they basically admit to have had a relationship where they've had threesomes before. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Number one, y'all gonna learn that marriages are not meant to be having threesomes and things inside of them. I'm sorry. I know everyone's like, oh, what I'll do what I want to do, and if it's between me and my husband. I'm sorry, that's not how this works, okay? Just in my opinion, that's not how any of this works. Once you're married, you're married. Once you start bringing outside people into your marriage, you're opening Pandora's box. And then he's going to be opening Pandora's box without you. Okay? You've already said that it's okay for more people to be in the relationship. So it's only a matter of time before one or the other of you is doing things without your partner. That's legit. Just like, I feel like that's common sense. But anyway, and I feel like the only reason why Ashley even said that now is because they had to do something to get some kind of spin on this story. Now, do I believe they've had threesomes in the past? Yes. Do I believe that Michael has never had any other relationships with somebody without Ashley being present? No, I do not. Do I believe that Ashley was really upset about this? No, I don't. I think she was upset at the sloppiness of it, and so now y'all have to get on camera and spin some type of narrative so that it doesn't seem as crazy. And then I want y'all to also notice that once she's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want that to be a part of our relationship anymore, that's when Michael was really like, okay, can we cut the cameras, because we've changed the state of our relationship forever, and the fun is over. And like, did y'all catch that? The fun is over. Also, he's gonna sit up here and blame his actions of going to the hotel room, talking about you've been lacking intimacy. So y'all been lacking intimacy. So the very first thing that you do when she goes out of town after you forced her to take that baby with her is to go to the strip club and take a stripper home, or take a stripper to a hotel room. Is that going to fix the intimacy that you have with your wife? No, that's stupid. That was the dumbest excuse I've ever heard. And this story is stupid. Let's be clear about that. You're like, there's just so many things. Number one, you're not gonna sit up here and tell me that y'all went to this hotel room, you and this stripper, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And even if let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say nothing did happen. Is that what's okay in your relationship? For you to be able to pick up a stranger, kiss them in the car, take them to a hotel room with all intention of smashing, even if you don't, but having all the intention to? Is that okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, you cheated already. You don't have to stick nothing in nothing to have already been cheated, to be a cheater. Like, that whole thing is crazy to me. And I'm gonna get back to Ashley at the end of this episode, but that entire scene was nothing but Olivia Pope out here spinning the narrative, okay? And I don't believe it. I don't believe it for 1 second. At the end of the day, Michael's still out here. He gonna dibble and dabble and do what he wanna do, and Ashley gonna do the same. And you know what? Did it surprise y'all? Did it surprise y'all that Ashley said she dabbled in the lady pond? Did that surprise y'all? Didn't surprise me. It didn't. This episode, we also got to see Wendy taking her son to Power Ranger training. That was super cute. I actually got a little softer. Like, my heart got a little softer for Wendy in that scene. She spoke on how it's really difficult now that she's coming off of maternity leave. She's supposed to go back to teaching at Johns Hopkins, and how she doesn't even know if that's what she wants to do. It's just kind of always been something that, you know, she felt like she had to do because of her family and things like that, and she doesn't even know if she wants to. And I can completely understand not wanting to go back to work, you know, right after having your baby. I mean, even if it's your third, I mean, I get it. You know, I still haven't gone back into the salon after having my son, and it's been almost a year. So I think her baby's only like 3-4 months. I could not imagine. I literally had planned on going back to the salon after 3 months. But when it came time for me to go back, and I was really only supposed to be going back to the salon like 1 day a week. Like, seriously, y'all. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And then shortly after that, COVID happened. So, you know, small blessings, I guess. I don't want to say small blessings for the pandemic, but, you know, silver linings. But anyway, so I enjoyed the interaction between Wendy and her husband, and just kind of seeing a little bit softer and more vulnerable side of her, especially after the argument and things that we had seen in the past. So it was softening up towards Wendy. We didn't see Karen in this episode really, except for at the end when she was reading Giselle. I love a good Karen read from Giselle, so that's what I have to say. Robin. We saw Robin go to her parents' house and talk about how, you know, her and Juan are possibly going to get back together, and how her parents took Juan in when they first got together. And I'm so tired of this storyline. I really am so tired of this storyline. Anyway, the only other important part about Robin was when her and Giselle went furniture shopping in this store that Giselle probably can't afford. And that was shady. I didn't mean it. They went shopping in this store or whatever, and Robin says that when she got the article from wherever, she was trying to send it to Sharice, and instead of sending it to Sharice, she sent it to Ashley, and then kind of followed it up with like a text to try to clean it up, to make it seem like she wasn't being the messy witch that she was being. And you know what? And Giselle is sitting there just eating it up. I just find it interesting. I just want to say this. I just find it interesting that when Ashley was talking about the people that text her, she said Robin, and who was the other person that she said text her? If y'all remember, drop it down, because I didn't remember. But I think she said Robin and Monique. Either Robin and Monique or Robin and Candiace. One of the two. I can't remember. Were the only two that text her to check on her, or to text her the article or whatever. And we know that Robin did it to be messy. And so I just find it interesting that Giselle can have all of this conversation about the article, but this is your good girlfriend now. Y'all are supposed to be cool now. Did you call and check on your girlfriend, or did you just wait to film with your real bestie and talk junk about her? I know y'all be in the comments saying that I'm a Giselle hater. And moving on. Also, before I forget, I did not talk about Monique and her business, Not for Lazy Bombs. We did see a lot of that this season. She's doing the podcast. This episode, she's doing the podcast. She's only sold 20 tickets out of 300. Now, at this point, I'm trying to understand, what are you paying people to do? You have this elaborate staff who you're saying that you are spending $80,000 in overhead for, but they're not advertising enough to where you can sell more than 20 tickets. Then you need to redirect. And like Chris is saying, you know, at some point, if a business is not going to bring in profit, you have to let the business go. Now, I'm not saying that she has to let the business go, because we already know that Not for Lazy Moms is definitely doing decent online. Now, trying to rework your business model, it does take an investment, it does take work. However, maybe you don't need a full office. Maybe you don't need all these people on staff, especially if these staff members aren't bringing in anything. Like, what's the return on investment? That's the bottom line. If I'm planning this event for 300 people and it's 3 weeks out and I don't even have, 40% of the capacity filled, then we're going to have to redirect. We're going to have to repurpose some of this money. We're going to have to do something. Maybe maybe more needs to go to marketing. Maybe more needs to go to marketing. Maybe you need to promote more on your social media. She has a large social media, so I'm not understanding where the disconnect is. Or maybe you don't need to spend as much money on flyers. Maybe you need to do more digital advertising. Maybe you need to buy ads on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or something like that. Maybe you need to redirect some of these funds. Maybe you don't need to have maybe you don't need to plan to cater for 300 people. Maybe you should plan to cater for 250 and just cut back to the number of tickets that you're going to sell. Like, all of these things is, I think, what Chris was trying to say. And Monique just wasn't hearing it, and I don't think that's right. Like, that's a part of being a business owner. You have to assess the money that's being spent now and make sure that you're getting a return on investment. And if you're not, then you need to readjust, because you can't just keep spending $250,000 and just dumping it into a business if you're not going to get that money back. And she was saying that she was okay with just breaking even on the podcast. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, breaking even is a success, but you're not. But who wants to do all of this work and put all of this work into something and not be able to take home a profit? That is legitimately like the point. The point of a business is to fulfill a need in your target market and take home a profit for yourself. So if you're not doing that, then you need to rethink. Maybe your first podcast doesn't need to be 300 people. Maybe it should be 50 people, and you make it like seem super exclusive and super like, super VIP and something. And then, that's what is the selling point and the marketing point. You get what I'm saying? Like, at this point, you need to rethink some things. And sitting in the office, sitting in this elaborate office with all of this merchandise, with all of these staff members drinking rosé, to me seems like not a smart way to invest all this money that you're investing. It just doesn't. But while we're talking about this podcast, this is kind of what adds more fuel to the fire on Monique's end. We already know last episode that on Candiace's end, some of the fuel came from Monique being asleep. Let Candiace tell it that she wasn't, whatever. And so what kind of adds some fuel to Monique's fire is that Candiace is now pulled out of the podcast. And Monique keeps throwing shade at, well, the theme of the podcast is honeymoon is over, and they haven't even had a honeymoon. So I don't even know why I had her on the panel to begin with. And I'm going to say this. I was hit. Monique, why you had to hit me like that? I've been married 4 years and haven't had a honeymoon. So, but I had a house, we bought a house, maybe they're trying to take this money for the honeymoon and put it into these lavish houses that she wants to buy. I don't know. That's so shady. And she kept saying it too. Like, that was so shady. Like, Monique, no, that was shady. But I get it too, that she's upset, because at the end of the day, her issue is that Candiace is always selfish, and now here you are pulling out of an event after I've already promoted you for being in the event. But also that goes with, again, doing proper business. Why don't you have anyone doing like contracts or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that is a waste of money. Now, you've already spent money on marketing for her to be there, and she's not there. Although she did give you almost a full month notice that she will not be there. It's just like one of those things where for the show, Candiace, you should have just done, in my opinion, you should have just done the podcast. Like, just do the podcast, at the end of the day, it's a way to expose you to more people, to get you to have a bigger audience as well. Also, you know, I mean, again, it's the show, supporting your cast member, supporting your castmate. But we've already seen at this point that Candiace cares nothing about supporting Monique at all. And it, to me, further shows how Candiace truly is not being, was never really a friend to Monique. And to me, this goes even all the way back to last season, where Candiace wanted everything on her terms, and when Monique was not okay with doing that, then Candiace was upset. So to me, it's just showing more and more how immature of a person Candiace is, and how she honestly was never really Monique's friend to begin with. Now, do I think that Monique has been handling everything correctly? I do not. So I don't let Monique off, but I do not. I think that it would probably be exhausting to be Candiace's friend. We finally get to the scene that we have been waiting for all freaking season, and y'all already know it's gonna be a to be continued. But before we get to the scrimmage, Ashley comes in with this cape. I literally have that same cape. I love the fall just so I can pull it. I have that cape in 2 colors. I have it in the camel color. I also have it in a nice like red. It's not like a hot red. It's kind of like a burgundy red. And y'all just wait. I mean, I don't have any of my clothes right now because of the move, but y'all just wait till I get back to my house and back to my wardrobe, honey. I'm gonna be on Instagram giving you face with my cape. I love a good cape, okay? Love a good cape, okay? Let me focus, because that was the one thing. But as she walks in with her cape, honey, she's giving you I'm coming to the press conference to clean this thing up. And she gives us this whole tale about how her and Michael have had a polyamorous relationship in the past. Is that how you would say it? I guess. How they've dibbled and dabbled with outside parties in the past. And Monique asked, was it 2 guys? And she had to clear, no, it was 2 girls, you know, me and another woman. You gotta clear it up, because I mean, honestly, it's less realistic to believe that it was you and another girl and Michael. Honestly, it's less realistic. We all know that he out here being a butt wrangler, and I'm not saying that to be shady. I'm just saying that, like, we all know that he's fluid, okay? And I just need y'all to, like, just like you're fluid, just like we have to accept and believe that, like, oh, you saw somebody that you wanted, so you brought them back. We believe Michael does the same thing in the same way. But anyway, she comes and she tells this whole flowery story, and basically the lie that Michael told her, she's now repeating. It's not even the lie that he told her. It's the lie that they rehearsed during their first conversation off camera. You notice how she said that, oh, we talked off camera at home, and I just didn't want to get heated before Dean. They had to come and canoodle together to see how that was going to work out. But anyway, so she repeats this rehearsed press statement to the women, and it confesses everything on Michael's behalf as far as he is wanted to admit on camera. And something that I just found interesting that I don't think that any of the women did, which I don't think is fair, they did not call Ashley out on this story of them being, you know, of their marriage being open in any type of way. Had this been any other person, any other season, Ashley would have called you out on it. Like, well, why were you, you know, basically calling for some accountability and some truthfulness, or for them to own it, honey. Lisa Renna voice. And so I don't know if they are just really tiptoeing around Ashley because she just had this baby, and I mean, I get that, but at the same time, the way that Ashley used to dig in and be messy, they just are not giving her that same type of energy. I would have asked. I'm like, now we've been your friend group for going on 6 seasons or whatever now. And this is the first that we've heard about any kind of extramarital things that y'all are doing. It's not even extramarital because y'all are doing them together. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first time after all these scandals that we've heard about Michael. All of these different things. This is the first time that y'all have found the need to go ahead and express that y'all invite people into your marriage. Does that just not seem weird to y'all and seem very calculated and planned? Like, I don't believe anything. And then also what was extra sickening was her coming in there before she even addresses the rumors that everybody is already sitting here like waiting. She's talking about how she might be pregnant. Michael, I just want to know, does he have like an endorsement with Viagra or Cialis or something? Because you're not sitting up here telling me that this man is dinging down this much. He just like, how, like, seriously, how much Viagra does he pop? Seriously. Anyway, I'm done with Ashley, y'all. We can continue to talk about her down in the comments. Final part of the episode, we get into Monique and Candiace. And y'all, honestly, when the argument began to pop off, I can't remember who it was that asked, but they basically asked like, are y'all cool? And Monique said something to her, well, I'll meet her where we're at, and we're back there somewhere. And that's when it was a lot. I watched it a couple times because I was like, wait, where are we going? What happened? Monique is over here talking to Giselle and her sidekick, and was just basically like, see, y'all are a friendship. Y'all have reciprocation. You call her, you plan things, y'all talk. And Candiace is over here talking to Ashley, talking about how Monique is fake sleeping and all this kind of stuff. And then Monique goes, well, I never sleep, I'm woke. And she's like, exactly, that's the point. And I think Monique was like legitimately confused, like, wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was fake sleeping, because she was sleeping. So then it goes into her saying, now if you had any idea, if you were a mother, then you would have known what it was like to have to go up there and get this house ready. Now I'm gonna pause right there, because this sounds a lot like what Wendy was saying when she was saying that it took a lot for her to get to this cabin trip. So I'm gonna have to call it out now. We're supposed to have all of this sympathy for you, Monique, and how tired you were and how much it took for you to do this cabin trip, but you didn't have this same energy when Wendy was basically saying the same thing. I'm just calling that out again now, Monique. You being real. It's like anytime it has anything to do with Candiace, you being real hypocritical about it. Not saying that it's not hard to host a trip and to have to do all of that, but it's also hard to have to pump and get ready for a trip. Trust me, I know. But anyway, from there, the argument just continues to escalate. Candiace is over here twirling, honey. Why does everybody want to be Kenya Moore and twirl, twirl, twirl? Candiace is over here twirling. Monique is like making fun of her, you know, talking like, you know, kind of like dismissing her in a way, using a very condescending tone. At some point, Candiace is like hitting on the glass with a knife. Wendy takes the knife. Candiace, you can't have knives. You just can't have knives at all. It got really escalated, because it started with them doing whatever. Monique was like this, but Candiace was far away. Then Candiace came up. Then Candiace is hand in face, and then it's hand in face, and then this Monique is like, get your hand out of my face. That's when Candiace was like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna drag me? You're gonna drag me? Monique starts tossing her hair like, do you want me to? Do you want me to? Drag me then, drag me then. And then the dragging happened. Don't ask for something you don't want. Your mouth is writing a check that your ass can't cash. Ain't that the saying? Like, you literally are provoking this girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Drag me then. Drag. Well, dragation commences. And then of course the episode goes off. I'm like, oh my god, Bravo is to be continued. Y'all are going to wear me out. So who do y'all think was wrong in this? Like, y'all already know, I stand in it. Even when I think that Monique is wrong, I still stand in it. I also want to take notice in that after, last night Candiace went on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch the whole thing. And Monique also went live. I'm just going to give y'all just clip notes. At the end of the day, on Monique's live, she owned her part and owned that she was wrong in the situation. Candiace had no accountability. No accountability. So that further makes me be on Monique's side. It is what it is. Like, you need to be able to own it. It's Lisa Rinna voice. Does Lisa Rinna have that on her shirt? She should. But that's it. That's all. I ain't got no more. I done gave y'all my thoughts on it. I know y'all ain't gonna agree all the way. And I'm okay. I'm ready to hear it. Drop down in the comments. Tell me your thoughts on this week's episode. If I forgot anything, it wasn't important anyway. And let's get this discussion started down below. Y'all know I enjoy hearing y'all's perspective, even when we don't agree. But we can agree to disagree, unlike Candiace and Monique. Alright, so I'm gonna get off of here because I have to catch up on Power so I can give y'all those videos this week. I am unsure if I'm going live this Friday for Finally Be Friday Live. We'll see if anything super interesting happens during the week. So y'all make sure that you have your notification bell turned on and that you check my community tab to be kept abreast. Alright, love y'all my beauties, and special shout out to my Patreons, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.